So every day they get moved, you can see the little squares going up the field, you know, where they were yesterday, day before, day before, day before. And that whole procedure takes less than 60 seconds. And so every morning they get their linen changed, their bedding changed. It's like a hotel, man. It's better than a hotel. This is where we say good farming should be aesthetically and aromatically, sensually romantic. If you're walking around holding your nose and the 5-year-old is saying, ooh, yuck, it's ugly, it's probably not good farming. You know, when people say, well, what's the criteria? You know, on our little bags there, we say healing the land one bite at a time. And basically we've come, if it's not healing, it's not good. If we just ask the question, does this heal? It would fundamentally change the amount of Coca-Cola we drink and the kind of entertainment we do. I mean, is there anything really healing about the Kardashians? You know. Good, healthy pasture has a bacteria called methanotrophic bacteria. That methanotrophic bacteria gobbles up and metabolizes more methane than can possibly be produced by double the amount of cows that could ever be grown on that pasture. So when the grass gets too long for the chickens, then we bring the cows in to mow the grass down for the chickens. When they're mobbed up, they have to graze very aggressively and haphazardly. We call them equal opportunity graziers, okay? They're just taking it rapidly because they know that there's 1,000 behind them, and if I don't eat this right now, there's not going to be any left in 30 minutes. And so that accelerated, aggressive grazing actually helps to prune everything on the landscape and not just let the unpalatables go to seed and begin to dominate. So it changes the successional vegetation of the landscape. And so our mandate is not to adulterate that or think we're smarter than that, but how do we duplicate that template and cut it like a pattern and lay it down on our piece of property and duplicate that synergy of nature. All right, the average American farmer is now 60 years old. Now, business analysts will always tell you that whenever an economic sector goes over 35 years old as the age of the average practitioner, that is an economic sector in decline. So what a farmer brings to the land is what makes it a farm. And so if what the farmer brings to the land can be mobile, then any piece of property can have a farm business built on it without having to own the land. You just have to have access to it. If you look closely, the horizontals have a stainless steel thread woven through. That's what carries the spark. This is space age stuff. I don't want anybody leaving here today saying, oh, we went to this farm, it was like Grandpa's farm. This is nothing like Grandpa's farm. Listen, to have a bear, coyote, dog, possum, raccoon, chicken-proof fence that 150 feet of it only weighs 12 pounds and a person can take it down and put it up in 10 minutes, Grandpa would have given his eye teeth for something like that. In Augusta County, the average cow days per acre is 80 per year. So an acre will support 1 cow for 80 days a year or 80 cows for 1 day a year. Our average is 400 cow days per acre. And we've never planted a seed or bought a bag of chemical fertilizer in 60 years. Moving, mobbing, mowing. If you take the herbivore out of its mission on any one or all three, and most, 95% of all the domestic livestock in the world is not functioning in at least one, and in America, mostly all three. They're not moving, they're in the same field all the time. They're not mowing, they're in a feedlot. And they're not mobbed up, they're spread out indiscriminately across. It takes 100 years for land that's plowed one time for it to return to all the species that were there before the day it was plowed. Not about destruction, it is about actually releasing the next forest, keeping it healthy, creating an extremely diversified ecology with more different kind of plants than would be here in any other static kind of system, and doing it with enough care that it actually builds the ecology, builds soil, and grows food at the same time. Where we are today is a result of those eating decisions we've made up until now and where our grandchildren will be when they're our age will also be a cumulative effect of the eating decisions that we've made between now and then.